cut off a piece of my skull so that the demons in there and the evil spirit can shoot out of the hole. I would like that very much.
Every job must be carefully analyzed.
Hi and welcome to Morbid History, where we discuss folklore, true crime and mythology and anything that has to do with our dark past. Today we're delving into a little jauntily macabre ramble into what mental health was like in medieval times. Let's get into it. So, to understand the medieval mindset when it came to mental health issues, we first have to go way back into ancient Greece, where we meet the very smart Hippocrates. He came up with such a brilliant idea that we didn't question it for 2000 years. And what was that? Besides the whole wandering womb thing. That's a whole different video. I'll make a video about female hysteria in the future, I promise. Either way, Hippocrates, he came up with the 4 humors. I think that's how it's pronounced. He went ahead and stated that all humans were made up of 4 essential fluids called blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm. It's spelled like this. Phlegm. And these fluids had to be in balance, or else you would get either mentally or physically ill. Easy enough. This idea continued and continued, of course, into the Middle Ages. They left the wandering uterus out of it though, yeah. The 4 humors were said to make up not just your body, but your whole personality. Blood was the sanguine personality, yellow bile was choleric, black bile melancholic, and phlegmatic, yeah. So when it came to just the mental illness part of it, depending on what of these humors or fluids became in imbalance, you got more of one of them, you would more or less just end up with the illness. An easy way to explain that is like the black bile melancholic. If you had too much of it, you would end up hecking depressed. Super duper mega depressed. And if you had too much blood, that would result in mania. If you had too much of the yellow bile, choleric, you would be frenzied. And that too much phlegmatic, you would be, well, turned off, lazy, disconnected from the world. And yeah, if your fluids became in some kind of imbalance, what would a poor person do? I mean, you're super hecking depressed. The black bile is just way up here somewhere, there's too much of it. Well, you just went to the doctor, who calmly said, "Please evacuate all your bodily functions at once. Thank you so much." And the bloodletting, herbal enemas in your butt, puking, crying, and all the fun stuff. You had to do them all. Just take out as much as you can of the things so that it would become in balance again. Such a great idea. Thanks, Hippocrates. I understand why they didn't question that for so long. It makes so much sense. And why it made sense, of course, because of course there would be placebo, and if you just take out a bunch of blood, you could feel some kind of way for a while. If it's better or worse, I don't know. Most illnesses just go away by themselves, and you could just say, yay, enema and the bloodletting worked, when it actually just disappeared by itself. And if it didn't help, well then, just go to the church and they'll tell you, you're possessed by demons, let's have an exorcism. Because that's what they did too, if you didn't want to listen to the whole fluid kind of thing and that didn't help you. Your insanity was demons. Nothing else. You were just taken in by a bunch of demons and the priest would help you. Hopefully. And if that didn't help, you could always try trepanation and do a little hole in your skull. That was a very common thing to do. The surgeons during Middle Ages was actually the barbers. So that's a fun fact too. So you would go to the one who would cut your hair and ask him, please can you just cut my head open and cut off a piece of my skull so that the demons in there and the evil spirit can shoot out of the hole. I would like that very much. Yeah, there was a way to do that too. Evil spirits or bodily fluids are the root of your sadness. And on the other side of this flipped little coin, some people actually thought that the insane were gifted by God. They had received the gift of going through purgatory in life, and therefore they were closer to heaven and God. A very nice way of looking at it. Where would you go as a mentally ill person? Well, there were monasteries that took in the mentally ill, and they took care of them as to gain some extra credit with God.
God, give me a golden star, I'm taking care of this melancholic person.
Something like that, I don't know. Well, and if you didn't send your melancholic uncle to the monasteries, you could take care of them yourself. Usually the townspeople or families and friends took care of your deranged or sad or manic or frenzied, lazy, angry female people. And hopefully they would be nice to you, or they would just chain you to their basement and feed you sometimes. If they didn't even wanna go that far, they could just kick the mentally unhealthy people out into the streets where they would become homeless beggars, which was sadly a pretty common place to end up, at least if you were poor. They could even shuffle you along into another village if they didn't want to look upon you. So that was that little ramble. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all of that. It really helps the channel. I do need the algorithm boost, and that will make sure that even more people get to see this macabre little channel, which is amazing. People want that, they really do, I promise. Yeah, either way, I actually just uploaded an Patreon exclusive. I'll link it down below. This time I uploaded a video about lesser known gods. Well, that is the theme I'm going for anyway, for a few of the videos. And I talked about a goddess called Gefjon. So if that would interest you at all, just head over to my Patreon. That would make my life, because I wouldn't be able to do these videos without my Patreons. So much love to each and every one of you. Thanks. Stay amazing, stay hydrated, and most of all, stay morbid, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!